All right, so let's continue with C, and I'll show a few more steps in this. Because it's totally multiplication, the order does not matter. So I'm going to multiply my numerical coefficients, so -4 times 7 times 2, and then I'm going to arrange my C to the third and C to the second. I'm going to multiply those, and then I still have the D to the second. So -4 times 7 is -28, and -28 times 2 is -56. Then C to the third times C to the second is going to be C to the 3 plus 2. I'm going to add those, get a 5, and then D to the second for my answer. All right, so now let's talk about raising a power to a power. So I have x to the second power in parentheses, and that's raised to the third power. So we're going to take this outside base. So our base here with the exponent of 3, that base is the parentheses. So we're going to take the parentheses, well, I guess on the inside of it here first. X to the second is x times x. Now on this one, we have a base of 3, and that's our parentheses. We have an exponent of 3, and the parentheses is our base. So we're going to take the base times itself 3 times. And then when you look at it, you got a string of multiplication. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of that base of x multiplied, so that's x to the 6. So when we raise a power to a power, our rule is you're going to multiply the exponents, because you can see that 2 times 3 gives me that 6 when we expand it. All right, so let's look at some examples. Here I have x to the 5th, then raised to the 2nd. So I'm going to multiply 5 times 2. I have a power to a power, and that's going to be x to the 10th. And over here, I have 5 to the 4th raised to the 2nd. So again, a power to a power. So I'm going to multiply my exponents, 4 times 2, and that gives me 5 to the 8th. In example 4, looking at A, we have several things going on. We have y to the 3rd times parentheses y to the 5th to the 2nd. So when we consider PEMDAS, here I have some multiplication, y to the 3rd times that parentheses, and here I have a power to a power, which is an exponent. So I need to do my exponent first. So I'm going to do y to the 5 times 2, which is going to be y to the 10th, and then I still have that y to the 3rd that's going to be multiplied out front. So now I have multiplication, and when I multiply, I add my exponents. 3 plus 10 is y to the 13th. For B, again, it's the same situation. I have a negative x squared, and then times the parentheses x to the 6th raised to the 4th. So I'm going to do my exponent first and multiply 6 times 4 is 24, and I still have negative x squared out front multiplied times that. And so remember, what's really true about this negative here is like having a -1 out front. So this is a coefficient. A negative sign is like a coefficient of -1. But I'm going to have now the same base. You see they're both x bases. So I'm going to add my exponents and get 2 plus 24 is 26. So this is negative x to the 26. Remember that negative sign does not get squared. It is actually the coefficient -1, which gets multiplied second after I square.